At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an Easy Day download now at easydaybot.com.
New to Tier 1, first-time customers get 30% off your first purchase, excluding subscriptions. And if you're a streamer, league, or broadcaster, join our sponsorship program. Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week.
Tonight, under the dazzling lights of Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the stage is set for the ultimate showdown in the Tier 1 Truck Series. All season long, the battles have been fierce, from short tracks to super speedways, but it all comes down to this: 100 laps, 2 stage breaks at lap 25 and 50, and 1 shot at a championship. The NASCAR trucks have thundered their way to the desert, and to the championship contenders, they have prepared for the fight of their lives. Every move matters, every lap counts, and every second could mean the difference between heartbreak and victory. When the dust settles in Vegas, one driver will rise above the rest and be crowned Tier 1 Truck Series champion. The wait is over, the lights are bright, and the engines are ready, and destiny awaits here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Welcome to Tier 1 Studios. My name is Zach Woods up in the booth. I got Brett Bullard here in the production box who's pulling all the levers for you tonight. And we are so thankful that you have joined us tonight here at Las Vegas, as drivers right now are trying to test their mettle through the qualifying efforts here at Las Vegas. Yes, indeed. We have a championship battle to settle tonight. Justin Sumner is leading our championship with 3 wins on the season, 10 top 5s and 14 top 10s, leading Eddie Baker by 18 points. Dakota Ramsdell sitting in 3rd in points, 28 back. Jared Hayes is the 4th place driver in points right now, sitting at 60 points back. Mathematically speaking, you realistically have 2 drivers squaring off for the championship tonight, with the long shot being Dakota Ramsdell if something catastrophic were to happen both to Sumner and Baker. That is how the field sets up for this playoff fight around this 1.5-mile oval, where, yes, drafting is going to be a big part of the conversation, and truck handling as the run wears on is we're going to talk a lot about it. driver personalities come out quite a bit here at Las Vegas, where you're going to have some guys be able to wrap the bottom, conserve tires, and others who are going to throw caution to the wind. And that would, I guess, would be everyone else in the field tonight who doesn't have a championship on their mind, but one last checkered flag opportunity for them here for the Tier 1 Truck Series season. We're wrapping up, and we're going to give you guys a glimpse at the track specs here as qualifying draws to a close. You can see here on the map, drivers are going to be having a lot of grip tonight, 78 degrees with 25% humidity, 1 mile per hour wind. So handling will be at a premium tonight. A partly cloudy evening is going to make way for great driving conditions here at the racetrack. And honestly, it's going to be quite entertaining with all these drivers with different agendas battling it out here at Las Vegas. We're moving into our warm-up time now on the grid. We're going to actually take a look at your championship leader, who is Justin Sumner. He's pulling out here on the racetrack right now. Justin has graciously allowed us to pull him into the booth and be our in-race reporter tonight. So let's get Justin Sumner up here in the booth. It's Zach Woods. You have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, Justin, a lot on the line tonight. You've put in a lot of work between now and what has been a great championship run. We talked before the race began. What do you have to do in order to get this championship all locked up?
Well, have to be out front, have to get clean air. You know, part one is successful. I got the pole. So hopefully I can stay out front, you know, get out of dirty air. If I can maintain my same consistency on each lap and break the draft, I should be able to get out there, because once you can break the draft, that clean air just really helps. So if I can do that, stay out front, stay clean, stay on the track, and survive, I think I've got a good chance of finishing this one on top. So fingers crossed, we'll see if we can do it.
I know last week you talked to me about how you approach this racetrack a lot like Kansas. Can you explain that to the fans in terms of how this track is very similar to that one?
The racing package that they have here allows for a lot of, you know, almost the drafting type tracks such as Talladega, Daytona, and Atlanta, where you're pretty much everybody's even. You know, if you can stay in the draft, you can stay right on top of them. Unfortunately, with that being said, with these tight turns, handling is going to come into play. With if you stay in the dirty air, you get tight, you start killing your tires more, then you're going to fall off. So it's basically shaped the same way for me. The racing line for me is basically the same. You do have to be careful here at Vegas for the bumps in 1 and 2. If you hit those, it gets a little tail happy and you do lose a little bit of time. But if you can hit your marks and stay underneath the bumps, or either stay over the bumps when the tires tend to wear out, it will benefit you coming out of exit of 2 and serve you up for a good lap.
All right, Justin, we'll let you go. Concentrate here on the warm-up. Thank you for being our in-race reporter for tonight. We'll catch you at the end of each stage and hopefully at the end of this thing.
Surely. Appreciate it, man.
That is Justin Sumner, driver of the 94 machine, and his championship competitor is going to be Eddie Baker out of Franklin. And Eddie's got a tough mountain to climb tonight. It's not impossible. He's sitting 18 points back of the leader in points. But with only 8 cars in the field tonight, you're going to have to see Justin Sumner experience something pretty catastrophic in both those stages so that Eddie can make up as much ground as possible and square off with Justin Sumner at the end of this thing. It's not an impossible journey to have, but Eddie's got to focus on what he can control and try to climb that mountain. The third driver in the championship conversation will be actually Dakota Ramsdell in the 83 machine. And Dakota has such a great story this year. You were able to see him go and win Talladega and had a lot of great feedback off of that race. And really, Dakota's had a great playoffs. He is the dark horse. He is the long shot when it comes to this championship race. And honestly, between these three drivers, that's where the championship is going to be settled. Right now, we're taking a look here at Eddie Baker trying to get down at pit road speed. Kept the truck underneath him. That'll be a big topic of conversation tonight as well. Not a lot of people think that Las Vegas has a tricky pit road, but because of the banking being as aggressive as it is in these trucks, it's a bit stiff trying to get it off of that banking onto that flat apron and get the truck to turn all at the same time to get down pit road. So I do like that strategy there from Eddie Baker to utilize at least part of the warm-up time to practice going down pit road and being disciplined in that regard. We'll see how that pays out for them as we now transition out of the warm-up time into what will be the final race of the Tier 1 Truck Series season. Really excited to bring tonight's action to all of you from beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Super excited to bring the action to you all. And we'll start by going through the grid just to see where your favorite driver lines up tonight. Justin Sumner rolls off doing the first thing he's set his eyes out to, accomplishing a pole tonight with Dakota Ramsdell to his outside. Jared Hayes will roll off P3 with Eddie Baker starting 4th. Bill Sleep starts 5th. Frank Chavez 6th. Matthew Erickson 7th. And David Mayo will roll off 8th. This is going to be an exciting race. And these drivers are getting ready to go. Right at the moment, I have all the driver chatter in my ear, so I'm trying to turn them all down as we speak before the race starts. There we go. Goodness, I can't even walk and chew gum at the same time. What makes you think hearing all these drivers chatter in my ear and commentating a race would go well? No, sirree, I got a job to do up here. And I'm very thankful for Tier 1 Studios extending the invitation for me this season to come up in the booth and be able to bring all this action to you guys. We are so thankful that you have liked, commented, and subscribed on all these races, especially here in the Truck Series. And tonight, we're going to finish it out strong. These drivers are getting ready to go to try to write their names in the history books. And others, they just want one more chance at victory. Who will it be? Our championship 3 that are still duking it out for a championship at the moment, not mathematically eliminated? Or will a surprise winner come from the back half of the field and shock the world one last time for the Tier 1 Truck Series? We'll find out here in the conclusion of 100 laps together around Las Vegas. And I'm so honored to bring this action to you tonight. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show because the drivers are pulling their belts tight one more time. Pace truck pulls off. Side by side, it will be Justin Sumner and Dakota Ramsdell leading the field to green for the final time during Tier 1 Truck Series action. We're underway here from Las Vegas. And you can already see the drafting taking place. Look at Jared Hayes all over the back bumper of Justin Sumner. Sumner throwing a bit of a block there on Ramsdell, is able to squeeze up in front of him. Had to get that clean air right away. He talked about it in that pre-race interview. He's not slowing down now. It's put Sumner to the point with an aggressive restart. A nod will go to Jared Hayes there in that 46 Superflow machine, able to get Sumner up front. You'll see all night long through the tri-oval those drivers cutting the tri-oval, getting down on the apron. That's not out of bounds here at Las Vegas. You're able to cut that, make some time. Barreling down the backstretch now. The battle for third seems to have simmered out between Eddie Baker and Jared Hayes. Eddie now setting his sights on second place. Meanwhile, back here in the back, that is Frank Chavez in the 23, side by side with David Mayo, who's able to come in tonight and throw his hat in the ring. Meanwhile, back up front, Dakota Ramsdell taking a peek to the outside. So hard to get that truck wound up and carry some legit momentum. And look at this dive bomb here into turn 3. Ramsdell making his move to the front. Wrapping that white line, trying to make the truck rotate through the corner. Put Ramsdell to the lead, and now Sumner's under attack from Baker here for second. Great action early. Eddie Baker trying to get out around the 94 machine. He's getting tight. The 94 able to really gain some momentum there on that high line. Here's a big shot to the back bumper of the 83 down the backstretch. The 3 championship contenders, 1, 2, 3. Back here, the battle behind them is actually a battle for 4th in the championship with Matthew Erickson side by side with Jared Hayes. So the cream rising to the top here early at Las Vegas. Here comes Justin Sumner diving down to the inside of Ramsdell. He's going to get some draft help from his championship rival, Eddie Baker. Baker thinks better of it going 3 wide. That would have been nuts here on lap 5, but these drivers are trying to do everything they can to gain some track position. Clean air is going to benefit you the longer the run goes. And take a look at this. Look at Matthew Erickson. Matt, +3 from where he began tonight. Doing what he needs to do. Erickson only concerned about Jared Hayes. The point differential between those 2 drivers, 2 points. So very obtainable 4th place positioning in the championship out there for Erickson. Hayes has to do everything he can to defend it well. Matt's been doing a pretty good job there up on that high line tonight. Getting some air to the front end of the truck. Meanwhile, back up front, side by side, down the backstretch for second. Ramsdell looking to fend off Baker, going into turns 3 and 4. I'll tell you what, Matthew Erickson has that top line rolling. He is all over the back bumper of Eddie Baker. Meanwhile, Sumner trying to treat this track much like Dega, much like Daytona, just playing the lanes, being able to identify the runs as they come. Baker's going to get a run here off the corner. Look at Sumner cut it off. Baker can't go anywhere but right behind him as he's boxed in between the 83 and the fence. 83 up the racetrack a little bit. And this just feels like a super speedway race right now with these trucks. Lots of action going on right now. Look at Matthew Erickson gonna try to wrap the bottom. Haven't seen that 28 machine on the bottom too much tonight. Gonna try to make it work. Got a bit of a logjam right now here for second place as Ramsdell's doing everything he can to stay to the inside of the 84 truck. Meanwhile, Eddie's trying to make that high line work. That's probably the best run he's had through 3 and 4 as he's now fender to fender with Sumner through the tri-oval. Depending on the run he gets here through 1 and 2, we might have to put Eddie Baker to the point tonight as all the help migrates to the top lane. And look at this, Dakota Ramsdell pushing the 84 to the front, put Baker to the lead. No rest for the weary as Sumner now has to fend off the 83 to his outside. Sumner talked about it in his pre-race interview, how clean air is such a benefit the later the run goes. Here on lap 11, trucks aren't handling the best they can, and it's only got to get worse. So I'm curious to see if the 84 is able to drive away now from his 2 championship rivals behind him. These drivers duking it out right now. Put a blanket over the top 3. Ramsdell just doesn't look very comfortable there on that high line. I know he's doing a great job at making it work up there. As you can see, drivers are racing until lap 25, and that'll be the completion of stage 1. I don't think the 94 is all too comfortable on the bottom either, with that 84 in front of him, taking away his clean air. That Black Car Mafia machine is struggling to really wrap the bottom like he was out in the lead. You see how dirty air affects these race cars. There's the pull that the 83 is gathering from the leader down the backstretch. He's going to sacrifice a little bit here on entry as the 94 is able to make the center of the corner work. I actually think the 83 is a little bit better through 3 and 4 than Justin Sumner. And he might be able to even complete this pass. Let's see. Going here into turn 1. Big arc into 1 and 2 from Dakota Ramsdell. Baker looking to block off the exit. Truck's getting wobbly going down the backstretch, and look at this move. Dakota splits them both. He might get a bump here from Sumner. That's not going to happen. Wow, what a move between those 3 drivers. What a drive between your championship 3 flying down the backstretch. About 2 car lengths separate each of the top 3 now, as everybody can just take a breath. That was some wild racing there for the last 5 laps or so. Now you got to focus on reeling Eddie Baker back in. Look back behind this group. You have Matthew Erickson trying to defend off Jared Hayes at the moment in that Superflow machine. This has been equally a great battle between these 2 drivers, duking it out. Jared has a 2-point cushion there on Matt here for 4th place in the championship. Meanwhile, the lead is slinking back up between the front 3. And you gotta be patient of where you're gonna build your run and how you're gonna make your move. Ramsdell going really, really high up the racetrack right there. If he makes it stick on exit, it might just work. Thundering down the backstretch, put Dakota Ramsdell to the point in the big Tex Autoplex machine. We're so used to that paint scheme being up front all season long. Get a lap led there for Dakota. Look at this. Be wild if we had a cameraman hanging on the back bumper of Dakota Ramsdell's truck. Got a mirror full right now of Justin Sumner. He was able to make the pass from 3rd to 2nd. He wants more. Digging now for the lead. I'm really curious to know if Dakota is going to be able to make that top lane work on this end of the racetrack. Last time around, it really benefited him. Look how high he is. He's much, much lower now than what he was the lap before. And all that Sumner's trying to do there on exit is just catch the rear quarter panel, make the truck in front of him slip up the racetrack by putting air on that back quarter panel. The battle for 4th has faded with Jared Hayes and Matthew Erickson. You can actually see Jared's catching this front group right now. Maybe Jared's got some long run speed in that Superflow machine. And the battle's been so tight between these drivers. We only have 5 laps to go here in the stage. And this would be big for Jared Hayes. If he were to finish in front of Erickson, that's an extra point. The gap. Wow, looky there. Look at Sumner from the wall to the apron trying to get out around these guys. Every position matters. Every lap matters here around Las Vegas. Ramsdell doing a great job at defending there on that high line. Three different lines from 3 different championship contenders, all making it work. Don't sleep now on that Superflow machine. Jared Hayes has got something for these guys on the long run. I'm really curious to know what that 46 truck is going to be able to do in the last half of this race. These three have been your closest battle on track for nearly the whole stage. Every other driver in the field is spaced out from one another considerably. On board now with Justin Sumner. Let's see how he attacks this racetrack for a lap. It's all about driving where the guy in front of you isn't. And Ramsdell trying to do everything he can to drive out of the mirror for his most part. Able to really be consistent with that top line. He's pushing the groove higher and higher. Got to be careful, though. Those marbles up there can really upset the truck. But somebody's got to be that trailblazer and push that line up the racetrack. Take a look at this. Jared Hayes to the outside. We were on board with Justin Sumner for a lap, and Jared Hayes has inserted himself into this conversation. 4 trucks under a blanket for the lead. Wow, look at the Superflow machine. All over the back bumper of Eddie Baker. Monster run there down the backstretch. I am very curious to know what the rest of stage 3 will look like for Jared, because he is so much faster than these drivers in front of him right now. And in that third stage, he's going to have enough time to make it happen. Meanwhile, up front, Ramsdell has defended well. Sumner trying to fend off a championship rival in Eddie Baker. To his inside, when we get the completion of this lap, it will be the completion of the stage, and Jared Hayes is going to push Sumner across the line. But it will be Dakota Ramsdell, Justin Sumner, 1-2 in the stage, with Eddie Baker finishing third and Jared Hayes coming on real strong to finish fourth. But the darling of stage 1 is the driver of the Big Tex Autoplex machine, Dakota Ramsdell. I really think for him it was just a matter of defending well from that top lane. As the run wore on, he was able to jump out to the outside and really make it work. Nobody could pass him. Drivers are catching the pace truck right now. And as your drivers go down pit road, I want to talk to you about some of our sponsors. Here for Tier 1 Studios, here for Tier 1 Truck Series action. I want to talk to you about EasyDayBot. Stream smarter, chat better, and grow your community with EasyDayBot. This innovative Twitch and Discord bot takes interaction to the next level, keeping your audience engaged and connected. Don't just stream. Build a community with EasyDayBot. Don't listen to us talk about it when you can try it right now. These drivers are going to try to have nice, smooth pit stops. At the moment, you can see on the ticker your favorite driver and how long they're going to spend getting serviced. See if anybody runs into any issues. Pretty consistent around the board for much of these drivers. Great launch there by Ramsdell, able to beat Justin Sumner off of pit road. Sumner with the quickest pit stop, though, at a 14.4. Frank Chavez, a little bit of damage repair at a 19.5. No worse for wear. Let's get Justin Sumner up in the booth. Let's talk to our championship leader right now. Justin, Zach up in the booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
That was entertaining. Talk to the fans about your experience there in stage 1.
Just goes to show the bottom and fresh air is king here. Got a little bit behind them. Tried to fight with them. Shouldn't have really fought with them because I killed my right front. But and all in all, it was good. It was very entertaining. I know these guys, Dakota and Eddie, are fighting for every point right now. I think they're 10 points difference. So I just want to make sure I stay up front and get as many points as I can to end this season off. But yeah, very entertaining, very fun. It got a little heated there. And then I saw Jared come in and poke his head in there, and I didn't even see him. I guess he must have been tied in behind Eddie, and he showed up with that Superflow truck and made it really interesting. So, man, that was a wonderful stage. Hopefully we can have another one just like it.
All right, man. We'll let you go here. Get anchored in for stage 2. We'll get you on the back end of that one.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
That's Justin Sumner. And the points difference between Ramsdell and Eddie, right, it is 8 points. So, I mean, our in-race reporter making sure he's keeping us updated on the point situation. So you have a points battle ultimately for second. Of course, top 3 can snag a championship, barring anything crazy. And then the battle for 4th between Hayes and Erickson. A lot to drive for tonight for these drivers. Lap 29 will turn into lap 30 as the pace truck makes that turn onto pit road. And we are back underway here from Las Vegas. Put Dakota Ramsdell to the point. We're back under green. Right away, Sumner sees the gap, is able to dive down and stay behind that 83 truck. Meanwhile, the battle is for 4th with Erickson trying to get up on the wheel. That 28 machine faded towards the back end of that last run, but we did see the 28. He's more than likely, I'm willing to say, the first truck up there on that high line in that first run. Maybe this run doesn't wear out his tires so much and hugs the bottom. Matt's trying to do everything he can to get around the 46. Eddie, meanwhile, boxed in, can't really go anywhere. Gotta be a little bit frustrating for the driver of the Sullivan Tire Machine. Bill Sleep hanging out behind this group, just biding his time. You gotta be aware of who's racing for what, right? The 83's trying to chase the 84 in points. The 28's trying to chase the 46 in points. And everybody's chasing the 94. Look at Eddie just cut down in front there of Matthew Erickson. Wow, what a move. Splitting them both. Able to get out around him and set his sights now on the leaders. About 2/10 is your separation between this gaggle of cars and the leaders, and you just see how quickly it disappears. And I think right now we have Justin Sumner taking a peek for the lead. Yes, he is, going down into turn 3 to the inside of Dakota Ramsdell. Dakota tucks back in line. A little less fighting there between those two drivers. Saw the 83 really make this super high line work in 1 and 2. And I like what the 83 did right there. Look at the power there. From high to low, diving to the inside. Now the 94. What a move by Dakota Ramsdell. Sumner laying it right on the door of the 83 truck. Trying to do everything he can to maintain track position. With Baker pushing him across the start-finish line. Baker looking to peek up to the outside. Here comes Matthew Erickson way up against the wall here in turns 1 and 2. Battle now's for second as Sumner gets the lead. I really like Matt's short run speed tonight. The kicker will be is, can he maintain it as the run wears on? We saw that 28 Tier 1 setup shop machine fade. He absolutely could drive with these guys. At the end of lap 50, we will conclude this stage. So now you know when the next break is gonna be for these drivers, as the action is pretty intense right now between the top 4. Looking back here at the Superflow machine here in 5th place, he's trying to get around Bill Sleep. I understand everybody wants to see the championship contenders tonight, but we do have to give a shout out to all these drivers here that have stuck it out through a long season and are making the best out of the final race of the year here for Tier 1 trucks. Guys like Bill Sleep, David Mayo able to pop in when he can, Frank Chavez, late addition in the year. So these drivers back here maybe trying to learn from the 46. I mean, the 46 faded in the beginning part of stage 1 and was able to really fly through the field towards the end there. But those are your 2 packs right now. And Justin Sumner doing his best and trying to imitate tracks like Daytona and Talladega, just playing both lanes right now. Taking the draft of one, taking the air away from another, all the way up to the wall, blocking the 84, now back down to the bottom, trying to cut off the air to the 83 truck. This is great racing up front. That exit really hurt him, though, going down the backstretch. Not quite clear of the 84, couldn't run it all the way out to the fence. Look at all those 3 drivers moving up the high line, racing a little bit higher. And here comes Baker to the inside. Whoa, look at that camera angle. Got all up in the grill of Eddie Baker in the 84 machine. That's just how aggressive some of these pushes can be. Baker gonna try to make a dive to the inside now. The driver of the Sullivan Tire machine looking to make his way to the front. And Sumner's been utilizing that apron all night long there in the tri-oval. Just a reminder for anybody watching, that's not out of bounds. You can absolutely do that. Kind of like cutting the dog leg over at Phoenix. It's upsetting to the truck for sure, but you can gain some time there by cutting that portion of the racetrack out. The top 4 now evenly spaced between one another. Meanwhile, this is a battle for the 6th position. David Mayo to the outside of his teammate, Bill Sleep. They're all trailing that Superflow machine who came on so strong at the end of the last run. And it was about this point in the run where we saw Dakota Ramsdell make his push for the lead, getting to the outside of Justin Sumner. Let's see if Dakota's got anything for him in this stage. He's keeping with the 94 right now, but as soon as they really start battling, that's when Eddie and Matt sort of slinky their way back into this group. Justin trying not to get up towards the fence there. And that's really because the closer to the wall you get, the more drag you get on your truck. That's a veteran knowing what to do going down the straightaways. Gotta applaud Matthew Erickson this run. Looks like he's saved a lot more this run than he did the first time around. You can see him there on the bottom. He's actually competing very well right now with Eddie Baker. Just learning from the first run, putting yourself in a position, right? That's all you can hope for. Be around at the end. And this would, ooh, man, commentator's curse, full swing right there. 5 laps to go here in stage 2. As Dakota Ramsdell's now trying to implore every trick out of the bag to get out around Justin Sumner. Sumner knows how to defend because he watched Dakota do that to him at the end of the first stage. Clean air is your best friend as the run wears on. Be really curious to know how long a fuel run is. We'll try to get that information from our in-race reporter at the end of this stage, just so we're set up here in the booth well. This is on board for Ramsdale. You see the gap between first and second just starting to grow out a little bit more. Now up to 0.4 of a second. 3 laps to go here in the stage for Justin Sumner. Our attention remains on the leaders. The closest battle on track, man, Brett in production is like on it right now, is between teammates Bill Sleep and David Bayo. David, a part-time entry, doing what he can. Now David's quite busy, enjoying his life. David, an avid fisherman. See him a lot. He's a great follow on Facebook. So in between fishing trips, he comes and races trucks with us here. Meanwhile, back up here in the front group, the gap slinking out a little bit more between first and second. Meanwhile, Eddie Baker's now going to try to make a push here on Ramsdale. And Ramsdale, he has to defend well. This point right here matters a lot for the championship hunt. We said it at the intro. Every spot matters. Every point matters. No more personified than this battle right here. And in fact, the battle that isn't behind them, with Erickson leading Jared Hayes. He's going to make up for losing a point in that first stage if all things go as planned this lap. These drivers duking it out between one another down the backstretch, all facing the reality that Justin Sumner very well could be winning this stage and locking up a championship hope. Look at that bump between the 84 and the 83. It won't be enough. Dakota Ramsdale will finish second, all chasing your points leader. Justin Sumner. Give stage 2 to the driver of the Black Car Mafia machine. Unofficially, if you want to play spoiler, one could make a conclusion. I know math up here is hard in the booth, but one could make a conclusion that that might just have been enough to lock up the championship there for Justin Sumner. Good drive by him. So it's Sumner, Ramsdale, Baker. Erickson finishes 4th. Jared Hayes 5th. Bill Sleep, David Mayo, and Frank Chavez is your running order for stage 2. And as these drivers are making their way down pit road, I want to talk to you one more time about AdminBoxx. AdminBoxx is built by iRacers for iRacers for the use in leagues and hosted races. The goal? To make race control as easy as possible. Each AdminBoxx connects via USB and features pre-programmed commands. No key binding for race control. The AdminBoxx community is made up of over 150 leagues and many members that all have a common mission to run nice, clean races and help each other out. Go check out AdminBoxx today. Drivers on pit road having their opportunity to make something happen. And look at this. This is actually a pretty big development if my ticker's right. Matthew Erickson is going to stay out and lead a lap. Oh, that's big. there for the driver of the 28, trying to do everything he can to gain one more position in the points. Big development there for Matthew Erickson. Let's get our in-race reporter up here in the booth. That will be your championship leader, Justin Sumner. Justin, Zach up in the booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
We ain't good at math up here, but we would like to make an educated guess that that stage win very well might have just locked up your championship. So I don't want to put the cart before the horse here, but maybe you can breathe a little bit better right now for this long run here towards the end.
Maybe so. I'm still enjoying. I'm gonna enjoy as much of this battling as I can with these guys. This is the kind of stuff that I've enjoyed all league. Just a battling with Dakota, Eddie, Jared, Greg when he was here. A lot of talent up here. I'm just glad to be a part of it. Once I started getting out front, you can see you start kind of separating a little bit. That clean air means a lot. So hopefully I can do it at the end of the stage, and hopefully we go green, have some green flag stops, and see what I can do with that track position.
All right, Justin, do you have an estimated fuel run for us up here in the booth?
It says we got 28 laps of tank. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of an undercut, so we'll see. Probably about a 23, 24 lap run. I give or take a couple.
Okay.
I don't want to give away too much just in case anybody's watching it that's in the race.
You're the one talking, not me. All right, go get him here.
I appreciate you, buddy.
Well, that was chaotic. He just kept on talking. So I am not an advocate for deploying your race secrets in the interview, but Justin's been such a good sport. Now we're setting up here for what will be Stage 3 action. As the trucks slinky up to one another, we are back green, and there's the turn. Oh no! The 83 gets into the 94. And a misshift causes mayhem at the front. I was just about to say, because he pitted under yellow, Matthew Erickson's way behind the field. This is exactly what Matt needed to happen. Let's take a look here. What happens? Now the 46 gets a really good start. Does he get into the 83? Yeah. Everybody's just trying to drift low. Oh, that's a hard hit there. The 46 and the 83, I mean, they're all on each other. This is very typical for these kinds of restarts. These drivers getting right on the back bumper of the guy in front of them, trying to push your lane. We talked about it all night long. Yeah, the 84 definitely not asserting blame to anyone, but drivers, tough break there for your championship leader. You hate to see that because that's a lot of damage there on the 94 truck. Very well. Could be competitive night over for the 94. See the 83s down pit road, the 46 down pit road as well. That's a shame. That actually plays very well into Matthew Erickson's hands, actually, because he pitted on lap 53. If you remember, he stayed out under that yellow. And had to go down pit road late. Managed to go down pit road, was trying to catch the field. And then the caution comes out. You know, I think I'm going to pull an audible here. I'm not going to talk to Justin Sumner right now, just simply because, he's involved in that incident. But I'm going to pull up probably the luckiest driver in the field right now. Matt, I know this is coming as a bit of a shock, but welcome to the booth.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, where do you keep that lucky rabbit's foot in your truck?
They're all over the bed of the truck, man.
We had talked about your point situation tonight, racing well with Jared Hayes. You managed to get the jump on him there in that stage, went down pit road, everybody else did, and you stayed out. You led the lap. And then you went down pit road and took the penalty. And then It's like the field loses their mind and you get the big break you need. How are you going to attack stage 3?
Well, hopefully I can stay up front now with these other guys that are in the back now and come up with some strategy for the halfway of this stage. And hopefully I just need to get 1 or 2 positions on Jared, and that's all I'm shooting for here. So there's got to be one more rabbit's foot rolling around back there somewhere.
Well, good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Probably the luckiest guy in the field right now, Matthew Erickson, catching a very odd and clunky caution at the perfect time. Really staying out, leading that lap, is able to get him an extra bonus point. So good on him. Meanwhile, we're getting ready to go back to green. 58 will turn into 59. Eddie Baker and Bill Sleep to his outside. Look at Bill up front right now. I'm not going to lie. It'd bring a tear to my eye to interview Grandpa Bill. These drivers are getting ready to go, and Eddie Baker fires out to a great restart. Bill drops down to the inside. We got new players up front. Bill Sleep. Erickson's been up there multiple times tonight. Bill's teammate, David Mayo, working to the inside. He's trying to get 3rd place. This is good news for Baker as he's trying to slip away from his nearest competitors. Mayo, you keep the truck underneath you. Keep your lines right. Everybody around you will probably take care of you. As Sumner looking to the inside. Erickson hard into the fence there going into turn 1. This is a battle for 4th. Erickson looking to the outside of Bill Sleep here for 2nd. Any spots that 28 can gain right now, while the getting's good, will work out so much better for him later on in the run. Got to keep that truck underneath him, though. Early in the race, we saw that Tier 1 setup shop machine roll that high line very well. The last run, he kept the truck underneath him, stayed on the low line. Look at that. Justin Sumner saying, hey, man, go a little bit faster. I got a lead to go and get. They're all chasing Eddie Baker, who has not been able to pull away from this group. Actually, Bill Sleep's doing a great job right now in 2nd. Defending well. Bill Sleep rolling the top lane. Gets a good run off down the backstretch, side by side with Dakota Ramsdell. These drivers trying to just tiptoe around one another. The 84, the 83, the 94, they've raced together quite a bit this year. Throw in the 65 and 28, now you got yourselves a show. We're just trying to learn here at the last race of the season. Okay, how do these guys race? Bill Sleep doing a great job rolling that top lane, but look at Sumner all over the back bumper of Ramsdell, giving him a push down into turn 3. Rolling the center of the corner is the driver of the big Tex Autoplex machine. Sumner looks to bail, now goes back to the inside. Sumner unsure of where to go, might take him 3 wide, thinks better of it. That opens the door for Matthew Erickson. Where did he come from? He's looking for 3rd, getting a big push now by Bill Sleep. This 5-car fray might turn into 6 here in just a moment. Keep a lookout for the driver of the 46 Superflow machine. His long run speed really wasn't there in stage 2, but we know he had it in bunches in stage 1. Eddie Baker up the racetrack right now, 3 wide. Sumner trying to make a move. Good spatial awareness by these drivers now, going down the backstretch and into turn 3. Sumner is able to go from 4th to 2nd. Huge run there on the outside. Ramsdell up front, followed by Justin Sumner, but the championship leader once more. He said, you know what? I was in the lead when we all wrecked on that restart. I won it back. Flying to the inside now of Dakota Ramsdell. They make contact going into the corner. Is Eddie gonna dive down to the apron? Thinks better of it. Continues to push the 94. I'll tell you what, big round of applause for Ericsson and Bill Sleep. I've talked a lot about Bill this year. He's very smart, just kind of hangs around, learns a lot. He's learning a ton right now from these drivers in front of him. Top 5 underneath the blanket. Great action right now here from Las Vegas. Who will make a mistake in this conga line of trucks? Look at this. I mean, Ericsson +3 from where he began tonight. Ooh, Eddie Baker hard into the fence there coming out of turn 4. We'll have to see what kind of aero damage that does for the driver of the Sullivan tire machine. And those are the mistakes, right? You get in somebody's wake at the wrong time, you go up, you smack the fence, then the problems start compounding on one another. The truck doesn't turn like it should. The truck doesn't draft like it should. Justin Sumner trying to defend well. Dakota Ramsdell now using the apron, looking to the inside. Gonna have to get this shallow entry right. And it sticks! Tell you what, Dakota Ramsdell has a piece underneath him tonight. He is wheeling this truck around Las Vegas. Just relentless in his pursuit for the lead. Gets a little aero tight right there with Eddie Baker pushing some air on that spoiler. Battle for 5th. Jared Hayes makes his way around Bill Sleep, now sets his sight on his championship rival, Matthew Ericsson, in 4th. Bill doing a good job trying to defend up there, and there it is! There's the bump, the 46 sideways! Into the fence! No caution. Yep, there it is. Caution is out. And I was just mentioning about this battle for Jared Hayes. Gets tagged there by Bill Sleep. Big front end damage to the Superflow machine. It's not all lost. You definitely make some manageable repairs here. Meanwhile, back up front, we are on lap 72, so I'm not quite sure if you can make it to the end from here. It said 24 laps, 25 laps maybe? I know Sumner was talking to us about that undercut, so might be just outside of that fuel window. Regardless, everybody's coming down. All these drivers on pit road getting serviced right now. I want to talk to you about Tier 1 Setup Shop. Racers, it's time to level up. Proud to introduce Tier 1 Setup Shop. It's a fresh new name in the iRacing world that's more than just about fast setups. Our mission is simple: to help you perform your best on the track and feel supported off of it. At Tier 1, we're not here to drop a setup and disappear. We believe in feedback, collaboration, and community. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just dipping into open sets, your input helps us improve every build. We're launching with competitive setups for Cup, trucks, late models, mods, legends, and more. And if you have any questions or just need adjustments or just want to talk racing, we're here. Real support, real people, not just transactions. Visit tier1setupshop.com and hop into the Discord to join the team, give feedback, or just hang out with fellow racers. Tier 1 Setup Shop. So, with all that said, these drivers, nobody topping off here, which is actually a bit of a surprise. I mean, you're right at the edge of the window, I believe, to make it. Or maybe our in-race reporter fibbed. I don't know. Maybe he is holding the cards close to the vest. Jared Hayes has made his way off of pit road now, I believe. Or no, he's coming back into pit road right now. Yeah, back onto pit road for the driver of the 46. He actually might be topping off. That would be huge. Go from heartbreak to maybe a winning strategy call right here. In my opinion, at least by the sounds of it, okay, so now he's getting his truck serviced. If you see that truck up in the air there. And that's smart. I like that call. Not having any tires on the truck going down pit road. Get as much repairs done as you possibly can. And then go down and get fresh tires. He's got to hurry up and catch the field, though. His lights are off on the pace truck. Through 3 and 4, it will be Justin Sumner and Eddie Baker leading the field with 25 laps to go here in the Tier 1 Truck Series season. We're back underway. Justin Sumner leads the field to green. Great jump there by the inside line. Eddie did not go there on the outside. In fact, gets passed there by Dakota. Erickson had to check up, and now Erickson under attack from Bill Sleep. Erickson settles in line. I think Matt now knows, hey, I'm in a decent spot. You don't overdrive the truck. Jared Hayes, a long distance away back from this field. Over 4 seconds behind, and that gap will continue to grow without the draft. See, it's a lonely road in front of the 46 truck. But hey, he pitted on lap 73. We'll have to see what fuel management looks like for him. Meanwhile, back up front, you have Justin Sumner leading the way with a familiar truck behind him, and then you have this gaggle of machines. Baker looking to throw a block. Able to do that, chop off the air of Matthew Erickson, who rolls up the racetrack. Bill gives him enough room coming out of the corner. Look at Bill all over the back bumper of Eddie Baker down the backstretch. That 65 machine has gotten great runs from the top lane all night long. On this end of the racetrack, I would say on the opposite end of the racetrack, it struggles quite a bit. Now look towards the lead. You have a dive down to the inside. That's Dakota making his way, trying to get the lead back. Big Tech's Autoplex machine trying to do what he needs to do in order to shrink the gap between him and Eddie Baker. Winning most certainly would cure a lot of ailments. Eddie is going to make it 3 wide on the apron. right there, if you're the car on the racetrack, you are not obligated to let him back in. It's their choice to go down there to the bottom of the racetrack, so I'm very thankful they all got through that. Sumner, the big loser there, went from first to third in that sequence, now pushing the 83 here into turn 3. Guys getting a little tight there off of turn 4. Everybody keeps their trucks underneath them. I'll tell you what, Matthew Erickson, he dropped back a little bit on that restart, has rebounded nicely here in 4th. The battle still rages now for the lead as Sumner trying to take a peek to the outside. He's going to have a run down the backstretch. Side drafting and all that matters here. And look at playing a little bit of mind games right there. Dakota not going all the way down the bottom. He says, all right, buddy, if you want to drive up to that high lane, you can keep it all the way through the corner. Great racing. Look, he's going to do it again here going into turn 1. Ramsdell has changed his line, says, if you want to pass me on the outside, do it. I'm going to keep you up there. And look at them beating doors down the backstretch. What a race we've seen between these two drivers. I said it earlier in the night, this is probably as aggressive as I've seen Dakota race this season. He is really relentless right now for the lead. Look at them leaning on one another through 1 and 2. And Sumner now playing mind games down the backstretch, says, fine, if you're going to shove me up high, I'll keep you pinned down low on the exits. Great, great racing right now. Shout out to David Mayo back here in 6th. He's just kind of chilling and watching. Good little group up here. Ooh, trying to clear himself. Sumner crosses him over down the backstretch. Now the roles are flipped. Sumner to the inside. Ramsdell stuck on the outside. Meanwhile, Baker and Erickson are like, can you guys figure it out? We're just chilling back here watching it. 17 laps to go here in the Tier 1 Truck Series season. On board now with Bill Sleep, who has a great view of this. Sumner throws a block down the backstretch. Bill says, you guys figure it out. I'm just chilling. I'm waiting. I've raced enough with Bill to know he's just tickled pink just to watch it all. His goal ultimately to just be there at the end. And these drivers doing everything they can to have a chance. One exit, wow, the block there from Dakota Ramsdell on exit. Sumner digging on the outside. These two drivers throwing haymakers at one another right now. And the field back behind them have went single file just to watch. Ending them down here on the exit, the 94. Gives them now room here going down the backstretch. This is really the first time in a long while these drivers have just kind of chilled out down the backstretch. A lot of games have been played over the last 5 laps or so. All the while, we're not quite sure if these drivers are going to be good on fuel. They pitted on lap 72. So maybe they're all just battling for track position in order to make a dive down to pit road. I'm not quite sure. This is fantastic side-by-side racing between these two. There's that mind game a little bit there from Dakota, not going all the way down to the bottom. 94 laying on his door there on exit. Now he's going to try to pinch him down, get that side draft. 13 laps to go. Unsure of the fuel situation now. Eddie Baker now maybe trying to insert himself into the conversation. Big shot there to the 83. And there's the crossover by Justin Sumner. I can't believe this. These guys are wheeling them right now. leaning on one another through 3 and 4. Something's gotta give. Still beating off of 4. 12 laps to go and they're racing like it's the last lap. It's incredible because we still don't know if anybody's good on gas. Pinch off the exit there. Going down the backstretch. 83 is going to have the advantage. Diving down here on this end of the racetrack. Sumner's been really good here on the bottom. Truck drifting up a little bit. Maybe all that time spent on that outside lane has fried the right front of the 94. Don't count out Matthew Erickson lurking back here in 4th. He's just been disciplined this run, just kind of chilling and waiting. Eddie Baker also chilling in 3rd. The front 4 have now pulled away from the teammates of Bill Sleep and David Mayo. 11 laps to go. Sumner gonna take a peek, thinks better of it. Everybody getting a little aero tight there on exit. 10 laps to go here in the Tier 1 Truck Series season. Put the 4 trucks up front right under a blanket. Nothing separates this group. Great action so far from these drivers. What will happen for a sprint to the finish? Is everybody good on gas? Did they save under the yellow? Well, they certainly haven't saved during this green flag run because they've been throwing haymakers for the last 20 laps or so. Look at Sumner all the way up to the fence. That's about as high as we've seen anybody enter turn 1 tonight. Trying to get that truck underneath him there down the backstretch. Eddie Baker now trying to make his way to the front. I'm sure Ramsdale's just saying, you guys battle it out. I'll play the Pied Piper up here and try to block both lanes. 8 laps to go. Sumner with the championship all but locked up. The battle for second continues in the championship hunt with Ramsdale and Baker squaring off, and then Matthew Erickson, who made a great call earlier in the race to lead a lap, has now put himself in a position to possibly finish 4th in the championship, beating out Jared Hayes, who's involved in a previous incident. 7 laps to go. I think everybody's just trying to calm their stuff down. Maybe for 5 laps of frantic racing here at the end. And again, we don't know if they're good on gas. Eddie doing everything he can to get around the 94. He knows there's a couple precious points sitting there in front of him in order to defend well. Meanwhile, Dakota's done everything right tonight to try to bridge the gap to get second in points. Sumner digging on the outside of Eddie Baker. If you're a Dakota Ramsdale fan, you got to be rooting for Justin Sumner. There's got to be more trucks in between the 83 and the 84 than just one. Five laps to go here from Las Vegas. The gap between first and second is 2/10. Eddie has now cleared Justin Sumner and will set his sights on the leader and the person he's trying to race for positioning in the championship. Ooh, almost had an incident there between second and third. Back behind this group, you have Matthew Erickson sitting in 4th, falling off a little bit from this front group. 5th is Bill Sleep with his teammate David Mayo. These two have been connected pretty well tonight with one another. Tough break here for Jared Hayes, over 5 seconds back of the rest of the field. And then Frank Chavez doing what he needs to do tonight to learn and to prepare for opportunities ahead. A big opportunity now lies ahead for one of these drivers. to capture the last win of the season. And Dakota Ramsdell, who did a great job at defending the lead earlier in the race, is going to have to do it again with a man behind him who wants to win and who wants to finish second in the championship. Ooh, Sumner hard into the fence coming out of turn 4. That might be the end of his quest for the win tonight. 2 laps to go. Through 1 and 2, they're about even, trying to get down the backstretch. If you're Ramsdell, where are you most comfortable at defending? And you got a mirror drive. You have to be able to park it on exit, try to defend well. Stay out in front. 1 lap to go, the final lap of the Tier 1 Truck Series season, with Dakota Ramsdell out in front of Eddie Baker. Half a truck length between these two drivers. Now disappears to nothing as Eddie gets all the way to the back bumper of the 83. Defending down the backstretch, a huge block there from Ramsdell. Eddie gonna try it on the outside. I think he's got to run. Getting tight off the exit. Baker's gonna have a run. They side drafted all the way to the line. It's Dakota Ramsdell by 4/100ths of a second. Dakota Ramsdell out of Paradise, Texas, is your final race winner of the year in the Big Tex Autoplex machine. Waited so long to get that first win. And Dakota, with a great run out of turn 4, able to make something happen, getting a congratulatory bump from your champion, Justin Sumner. We're going to go side by side so you don't miss Dakota's celebration. We're going to get set up for interviews, guys. We'll see you here in a little bit.
At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we're not just setup builders. We're racers, league admins, and part of the same sim community you are. We build setups for the full NASCAR ladder, Cup, Xfinity, Trucks, ARCA, and the grassroots warriors of short track racing, late models, legends, SK, and tour mods, all tested and refined in real race conditions. We listen, we adjust, we improve, because your input makes our setups better.
Are you looking for a league that has racing 3 nights a week or special event races? Tier 1 Racing League is here for you. Most races are broadcasted by our very own Tier 1 studio. From dirt track to super speedways, Tier 1 has side-by-side racing with real drivers and real rivalries. If you wish to join us, go to our website, tier1racingleague.com, where you can find our Discord link and much more information. Don't forget to subscribe to our Tier 1 Studio YouTube and Twitch channels so you don't miss the action.
Are you ready to take your Twitch and Discord experience to the next level? Introducing EasyDayBot, your ultimate bot for seamless interaction. Whether you're live on Twitch or chatting on Discord, EasyDayBot's dynamic responses open up a whole new world of possibilities. Engage with your community like never before through unique prompts, custom reactions, and endless fun. It's the bot that understands you. Make every day an easy day download now at easydaybot.com.
New to Tier 1, first-time customers get 30% off your first purchase, excluding subscriptions. And if you're a streamer, league, or broadcaster, join our sponsorship program. Share your code, your community gets 10% off, and you earn $1 per setup sold with it. Tier 1 Setup Shop. Built with you, built for you. Every lap, every week.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where we have seen an electric finish, a championship battle come to a close. Now I want to tell you the final point standings. Justin Sumner is your champion. We're going to interview him in just a moment. Eddie Baker holds on to second place in the championship hunt by 2 points over Dakota Ramsdell, who finishes third. Matthew Erickson is able to leapfrog Jared Hayes for fourth by 1 point. So leading that lap is the difference for Matthew Erickson tonight, and Jared Hayes will round out your top 5 in the championship. Let's get our race winner up in here. I'm sure he's excited. The guy who we waited so long to win gets win number 2. Dakota Ramsdell. Zach Woods up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, man, you wheeled that machine there towards the end. That was amazing. Talk to the fans about your experience tonight.
Man, what a race. That was intense. No, it was a great race. Great, fantastic race. I'm a pretty big fan of here in Las Vegas, and I knew that, being out front in the clean air is tremendous on tire wear here, and just being in second, I mean, you're going to be burning your stuff up regardless, whether you're trying to catch the guy or not. And then of course there at the end, Eddie Baker almost gave me he did give me a run for my money there, and I think another lap he probably would have had me, but I was up there giving her all she got, and sure enough, we got it.
Well, you were wheeling that machine tonight. We talked about all through the broadcast how it just seemed like you turned it up another notch tonight. You were so aggressive for the lead tonight. I'm sure aero and all that played into a factor, right? Clean air really was the big difference tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Clean air was a huge difference tonight. I sent a private message over to Justin after he snagged pole during qualifying, and I was like, man, I really wanted that pole. And he was like, I did too. So, and I knew when he, sent me that message back, I knew that I was going to have to play aggressive, and I'm not really, huge on the aggressiveness, racing, because I don't like, I like to be ran hard, but I like to be ran clean, if that makes sense. And,
yeah.
But, the last race of the season, figured we put on a show, and I knew I had to get aggressive, and sure enough, came out with a win.
Well, the moral victory, you get your win. Probably a bit of a bummer is that we do have the points, and you did finish third in points. Eddie beat you by 2 points for second place. But what does it mean for you? You got 2 wins here. I know we waited so long to see that Big Tech's Autoplex machine get a win, and now you get to finish the season with another one.
Yeah, I'm glad to have Big Tech's on the side of my truck for sure. And Chase and his dad down there at the dealership, they watch every broadcast. I mean, damn near every broadcast, and they're always supporting it. And yeah, I did finish third overall in the season. I was kind of hoping to get second, and I knew for a fact that I wasn't catching Sumner. So congrats to Sumner, and congrats to Baker for finishing 1-2. And I'll take a third, but I was telling him just a second ago that I hope to see him in another league, if whatever reason, and I just hope to see him and race with them again, because I know that they race hard and they race clean, and man, that brings the fun to iRacing right there.
For sure. Well, if anybody you want to thank for the win tonight and third in the points for Tier 1 Truck Series.
Absolutely. Of course, thank my wife for watching the broadcast and letting me do it every Monday night. Everybody at the fire station that's watching and supporting me, and huge shout out to Big Tech's Autoplex, of course. Chase and his dad down there, and man, if I forget somebody, Pontoon Stuff and Deckmate for supporting it. Yeah, I mean everybody, and for you to doing the broadcast, and for Brett to put on an amazing league like it has been. I appreciate it, y'all, a lot.
Well, Dakota, go and enjoy this victory tonight. You earned it. Put on a great show. Thank you for everything you've been contributing to the league. Man, go and enjoy it.
Absolutely, and keep a lookout. We'll see if that video is any entertainment.
All right. Take care, man. That is Dakota Ramsdale, your winner tonight. We're going to pull up our P2 finisher tonight. He's P2 in the race and by 2 points, P2 in the championship. Eddie Baker. Zach Woods, you have a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Managed to put on a crazy show there at the end with Dakota. Talk to the fans first about your night tonight here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right. It was a little up and down. Thought I had a little bit better of a truck than I actually did. A little disappointed on fourth on the starting grid there. I thought I could have got on the front row, but I don't know. I kind of knew it was going to be drafting. I planned to just try to ride a little bit. Definitely wanted to lead a lap, get some points, that kind of thing. Just kind of stayed clean, did what I could, and then wanted to let the other two battle it out and really burn their stuff up, but the guys in fourth and fifth were really good tonight too, and they were pressing pretty hard, so I couldn't take it too easy. And the second stage there, I ended up getting stuck with the 28 and the 46. That cost me a little bit on the 80, 83 and 94, but I think it was good. It was probably about all I had. Definitely saved tire on that last little stint there, and just waited one lap too long to push hard. I think if I did it one lap sooner, I probably would have been able to get Dakota.
Well, you put on a great show there at the end. And like I said, you managed to get second in the championship by 2 points over Dakota. So clawing your way back up through the field and finishing where you did was the difference tonight. Talk to the fans about this season for you here in the Truck Series. You're going to wind up with 4 wins on the year, 10 top 5s and 11 top 10s for Tier 1 Truck Series.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good season. There's a few good guys in here, and for the most part, we had some good racing. It was a little rough patch for a few weeks there, where I seemed to either get collected on other people's stuff or just DNFs in general, and that kind of put a hurt on the championship. I think if I had some better luck for 3 or 4 weeks in a row there, I probably would have been able to keep up with Sumner, maybe even have the lead in the championship with those wins, but. Sumner was kind of a powerhouse with the stage wins, and that really helped them out in the playoffs here. So, it was a pretty good season. I appreciate you guys for doing what you were doing in here, and it's a shame to see that it's going to end for a little while, anyways. To be determined, I guess. But it's a pretty good core group of guys in here, and get a few more like that, and I think this would really take off pretty nicely.
Well, Eddie, you've had a great year. You had a great night tonight. Do you have anybody you want to thank here for P2s all around?
Yeah, just thank Sullivan Tire for being on the truck here. Always supporting. Thank T, Alyssa, my grandmother, and parents. Anybody else that I send the link out to is quite a few people that get it, and I'm sure tune in and talk about this. And some of the Sullivan higher ups are watching on occasion. So shout out to all them. You guys for what you're doing. You for broadcasting, and hopefully we can find something else to do here and get on the broadcast streams and have some more fun.
All right, Eddie, go and enjoy it. P2s all around. Great effort tonight. Good job.
Thanks, bud.
That's Eddie Baker, driver of the 84 Sullivan Tire Machine. And now it's time to bring in the champion of the Tier 1 Truck Series, Justin Sumner. Zach Woods up in the booth. You have a copy.
Loud and clear, sir.
Tier 1 Truck Series Season 2 champion. That's got a good ring to it. You managed to get those stage wins and all throughout the playoffs and put out a gap that was just too big of a mountain to climb. And let's not put the cart before the horse. Talk to the fans about your night tonight here at Las Vegas. Third tonight. Obviously, the championship's going to make that feel a lot sweeter.
It will. That whole last stage, which of course when we started it off, I still have to go back and look and see what happened with the spin on the restart. I was completely baffled, bamboozled, discombobulated, however you want to say it. But being able to come back up there and get back up front was good. And then the caution right at the stage or right at the fuel window definitely put a little bit of strategy in it, but every time, I got out front for that little bit, and Dakota got on me inside, and there was a few times I tried to pass him on the outside when I knew it wouldn't work. I started to slow up and cross him over. And toward the end of the run, when I knew my tires were starting to wear, like the majority of the season, Eddie Baker was a thorn in my side when it come to it. And every time I go to cross him over, he'd give him a bump draft and shove him out in front of me, and I couldn't cross him over, so I had to stick on the outside. So I think that was initially, eventually what happened to me and killed my tires for the end. So I let Eddie go with about 5 to go, and I figured maybe if they get together, I can roll through. They can roll the red carpet out, and I'll get the win. But other than that, I was just happy enough to win the championship, solidify that tonight.
Well, you win the championship. The gap is 20 points between you and Eddie. 3 wins, 11 top 5s, 15 top 10s. Talk to the fans about what Tier 1 Truck Series, what the season meant for you. I know for a while there, we talked a lot about you seemingly every week. And then you went on a torrent run in the playoffs and managed to get a bunch of stage wins. Ultimately, Eddie even said that was the difference between him and you.
Yeah, definitely. The beginning of the season, I could dominate early and then just fall short. And I did get that one win at Rockingham early in the season to get into the playoffs, so I knew I was good there. But I wasn't, being a competitor, I wasn't satisfied. I wanted to try to win as much as I could. And if it wasn't for Eddie, once again, I probably could have had maybe 1 or 2 more. I knew Texas ended up biting me in the butt. Charlotte ended up biting me in the butt. I think IRP was one. Just a few of the issues that, of course, me overdriving it sometimes. But all in all, coming from, this being my first season with Tier 1, all the talent here, all the, the good driving, the good talent, definitely was a wonderful experience. I'm sure I'm going to miss it. It is a little bit sweeter knowing that I finished on top, but you, Zach, and Brett, and Matt, Caleb, all the guys, all the admins, Devin for being there as race control and helping out with the setups and stuff. You guys, you made it worthwhile. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for taking out your time, putting in a lot of effort, blood, sweat, and tears. Definitely appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to what the future may hold.
I'm flattered with all the thank yous to the league. You have any personal thanks you want to give for this championship run? And I normally, I don't know if he's even got his mic set up for this, but normally this is a moment where after these thank yous, I'm sure Brett would like to say a few words to you. But do you have any thanks you want to give for this season on your end for this championship run?
Sure, absolutely. My teammates over at Black Car Mafia, Terry, Scotty, Rev, and DC, these guys have supported me the whole league run. Anything I do, they support me. Amanda Made Creations and Custom Sublimations, she's definitely been a big supporter as well. Sambo's Hog Trough Seasoning, Black Sunshine Designs, and everybody. Just got a few guys over at another league just hopped in my chat talking to me over at Chrome Horn Racing. These guys definitely supported me too. So once again, appreciate you guys, and glad to come out on top.
Brett?
Yeah, I got you. I just want to thank you and thank all the people that was the good drivers in the league this year. I know it's a sad ending that we're going to be shutting it down for a little while, but I just want to commend you for jumping on as an admin and being a respectful driver and everything that you've brought to the table and keeping me sane these last few weeks. But I just want to say congratulations. It was definitely well deserved. I don't think anybody had anything for you there at the end, and you're definitely a deserving champion.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know about keeping you sane. I think I'm a few degrees short from a profession to be able to keep you sane. But yeah, appreciate you guys a lot. Definitely trying to run the league is definitely not a small task, and being able to be fair with everybody. So once again, appreciate you guys.
All right. Well, champion. That's got a nice ring to it. Justin Sumner, your Tier 1 Truck Series champion. Go and enjoy it, man.
Thanks, Zach. Appreciate you, man.
That's Justin Sumner. We're actually going to have some extended coverage for you guys. We have a couple guys down here in the waiting room. We're going to bring in an interview as well. Hopefully they all stick around. But I dragged Matthew Erickson, and Jared Hayes also found his way up here, and they've stuck around, and I think they deserve their time in the sun. So let's bring up Matthew Erickson. Matt, it's Zach up at the booth. You have a copy?
Yes, sir.
Just trying to go through the top 5. You guys stuck around and figured I'd give you guys your time in the sun as well. You managed to finish 4th in the championship by 1 point over Jared Hayes. That lucky rabbit's foot rattled around in the back of that 28 Tier 1 setup shop truck long enough for you to pull that off. Talk to the fans about your effort here tonight at Las Vegas.
Oh, we had a really good truck tonight. I mean, we were up front with the leaders, which doesn't seem to happen very often, but I didn't want to be too aggressive because I just knew I needed to beat Jared. I didn't really need to do anything else. And, you know, when he finished ahead of me on the stages, I'm like, okay, I'm counting the points. I'm like, I got to get some points back. And that second stage, when I stayed out and led that lap, I mean, that ended up being the point I needed. I just caught that huge break like we talked about at the restart, but yeah, and then he got wrecked out, I think. So I was just trying to hold my position and make sure I didn't, you know, get wrecked out in front, and then he passed me. So all in all, it was a good run for the Tier 1 setup shop truck for the season finale, and glad to run up front with these guys. And you know, it's been a fun season, and would have been nice to bookend the season with some wins, but I'll take a top 5 at the end.
Well, you did mention, hey, you got that win, the earliest anybody, you know, for a long time, a whole week. You were the only driver in the whole league with a win. So you got that one win, 4 top 5s, 13 top 10s, 4th tonight, 4th in the championship. You have any special thank yous, sponsors, or shout outs you want to give for your season here at Tier 1?
Yeah, of course. I always like to thank my wife for allowing me to do this and race every week. And Tier 1 Setup Shop, they were on the truck here better half of the season here as a sponsor and sponsoring the series. And all my teammates at TTR, I think they all kind of disappeared here at the end of the season. But we held it together for TTR and got at least a 4th place finish out of it, out of the season standings. And yeah, thanks to Brett and you for broadcasting and all the admins for running the league, and we'll just kind of see how it plays out.
For the record, Bud, I never left you. So
You did not.
Yeah.
You're here with me.
So, all right, man. Go and enjoy it. 4s all around here for Matthew Erickson.
Thank you.
All right. Let's bring up Jared Hayes. Here's a guy. He's stuck around, so we want to give everybody their time in the sun tonight. Jared, you got a copy?
Hey, yeah, I hear you.
Hey, Jared, I know this didn't quite pan out the way you wanted to. That 46 Superflow machine was really strong early on, late in the run. You were turning a lot of heads tonight. Unfortunately, you got tagged up in that late wreck, and you do miss out on 4th place in the championship by 1 point. The lap led by Matthew Erickson was the difference in that tight points battle. But you want to talk to the fans about your effort here tonight? I saw you hanging around in the Discord and wanted to give you an opportunity to have one final interview here with Tier 1 Truck Series.
Yeah, for sure. It was a lot of fun to watch, I'm sure. I was just hanging out with the guys there in the Discord and just rehashing the race and the season and everything. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I tried saving my stuff as much as I could there in the first stage and letting those guys all hammer it out. And yeah, that the final like 4 or 5 laps of the stage, I could tell I was really starting to eat them up because I, saved my tires enough. And I thought that I got Eddie at the stripe, and I'm like, okay, now I got a pretty good cushion here, I felt, but then looking back at it, I think he must have had me by just a couple of inches. And so I knew then it was still going to be a tight battle between me and Matt for fourth place. And then I wasn't sure what happened. I seen he stayed out, but I didn't realize at the time what he was doing. I thought he was trying to get an extra lap of fuel, and I'm like, why? What would he be doing that for? Well, then I found out he's trying to lead the lap, so that made sense. And then coming to that restart, I see he's like a half a lap down, and I'm like, well, what's up with that now? And then as I'm trying to figure out why he's a half lap down, all the leaders wreck in front of me at the restart. I'm like, oh no. And so I got a little bit of damage from that, and that kind of put me behind the eight balls. I came in to clean up the damage, and then on that next restart, now I'm in the back, and I needed to get back up to the front quick. So when I was trying to get around Bill, I was trying to get around him quickly and didn't leave any room for error. And I'm sure I probably came up a little too soon. He probably came down and was just enough to upset the truck, and spun off the front there, hit the inside wall, did some damage. So came in, got that repaired, and then I made the mistake on coming back around on the second time, coming in and getting my tires. I should have just took 2. I thought I had enough time to get 4 and still be able to catch the field. Couldn't quite do it, and so that was it for me. But man, it was a fun season. Got to thank Brett and for putting on the league, and you for doing the broadcast, and all the guys I raced with all year. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully we get the league going again. Got to thank my teammates, and of course Devin Lockridge and Lilith Peters and my friend Wes Vanderkolk. He does a lot of practicing with me, so been fun.
Well, you certainly were fantastic early on tonight. It was so fun up here in the booth to watch you just like eat into the lead. You just came out of nowhere. So you certainly made it entertaining for us. You made it a great spectacle, at least for me up here in the booth all year long. I could always pick out where the Superflow machine was. So I want to encourage you to keep running that paint. It's very easy to see up here in the booth. So always a great show for you week in and week out. And yeah, so officially 7th on the grid, 5th in the championship. Gonna give you oh, you already did your thank you, sponsors, and shout outs. Dang, we did this out of order. But man, congratulations. Thank you for sticking around. I know that this has been the last couple weeks at least has been sort of hard in terms of getting everybody in the field. So just wanted to give everybody that was hanging out in the Discord an opportunity to have their day in the sun here for the final race of the year.
Heck yeah, I got one more thank you. Got to thank my girlfriend for putting up with me, coming down here and racing with you guys.
Whew, buzzer beater. Good job, Jared. All right, man. Go and enjoy it.
Thank you.
And that is your top 5 point finishers for the Tier 1 Truck Series. Let's take a look at the final results here for the final race of the year from Las Vegas. It's Dakota Ramsdell fighting off a hard-charging Eddie Baker, getting another win on the year. You see that margin of victory, 4 100ths rather of a second between first and second. Great show between those two drivers. Your champion of the Tier 1 Truck Series is going to be that third place finisher, Justin Sumner. Matthew Erickson rolls into 4th in the championship hunt by finishing 4th tonight. Bill Sleep, top 5. David Mayo, his teammate, is going to finish 6th. Jared Hayes, 7th. And Frank Chavez rounds out your field through the top 8. I want to give, before we sign off, an opportunity for Brett Bullard, who is my right-hand man over in production and the admin of the Tier 1 Truck Series, Tier 1 in general, a moment to speak before we sign off here tonight.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining in and watching and supporting these drivers and making this a great atmosphere. And thank you to all the drivers and everybody for coming out. And I also just want to do a special shout out for all the sponsors that came on board between this series and ARCA, and Wednesday night with THDesigns. TJ was a big supporter of the ARCA series from the very beginning. Does really great paint jobs for a lot of people and does more than just painting cars. Does a lot of graphic work and stuff like that. So go check him out at THDesigns. Easy Day Bot has been a good friend of mine for a long time in the streaming world. It's actually two women that started this bot from the ground up and have done everything, and it's a really good group of people and a really good bot to use if you're on Twitch. AdminBoxx, great guy. He actually sent me one to use with my name on it and everything personalized, and I would highly recommend it. We used it a lot this season, unfortunately, in both the ARCA and Truck Series, but really great product. I don't have any quarrels about it or anything, and if you need one specially made, he just get with him and he'll be more than happy to work with you. Also, Tier 1 Studio, that includes myself and Zach and David and Matt Metler and just everybody that's come in and made this thing special. It's been a real pleasure, and had a lot of pleasure in learning everything from these guys to bring this product to you and whatnot. And then, of course, the Tier 1 Setup Shop is one of the reasons we're kind of shutting this down, is so I can focus more on that and try and get our name out there a little bit more. And I hope y'all come check us out. And I don't think this is going to be the definite end of Tier 1 Racing League or the TIT series. I would say now it's just more of a pause for the time being to where I can kind of get my passion back for it and everything. Because what we're here to do is to have fun. As much as we want to be competitive and everything, we got to remember that we're here to have fun and to make friendships. So when I get that desire back to dive head first into it, we'll be back for you. But in the meantime, y'all have a great time, and let Zach sign us off.
Well, thank you, Brett. This has been a great experience for me. Been out of the booth for a long while, and to get the call from Tier 1 Studio to come in and do what has been a fantastic racing product has been such a great joy to come out here on Monday nights and to bring the product to all of you who are watching out there on YouTube. Just know there's still stuff going on. So if you like what's going on, please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't leave forever. As Brett just said, this isn't the definitive end to anything Tier 1. It's just a break for a little while, and there's still going to be stuff from time to time on the channel. So if the opportunity ever comes back around, I'd love to have the opportunity to be back up here in the booth. And this has been just a thrill for me personally to get back behind a mic, paint the picture, right? That's what racing's all about, making sure that you cover rivalries, you cover tight championship battles, not just for the lead, but down the chart as well. You highlight drivers that have fantastic days that are unexpected. You talk about the drama of people racing so hard for so long and not getting a victory, and then finally breaking through like we did see earlier in the year with our winner tonight, Dakota Ramsdell. It's just a fantastic way for us to live a small part of a bigger dream, and the iRacing platform really does a good job for us to be able to bring that to life for all of you to enjoy. So for the final time, my name is Zachary Woods, and I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight here to Tier 1 Studios for what, as Brett would call it, the TIT series here on Tier 1 Studio. We want to thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you back again real soon. Take care and have a good night.